What's up? What's good? Matt Clark here at the new Matt Clark. How are each and every one of you doing on this amazing Sunday? I'm doing great. My girl's doing great. My family's doing great. I hope each and every one of you are doing great. And I hope you're having a good week and enjoying this beautiful weather. I hope it's beautiful weather wherever you are, because here it is beautiful. So, today we're here just to do a live, chop it up. I feel like it's been a minute since I've been here. Spur of the moment live. So we're going to wait for some people to come. On this channel, we just chop it up, speak about prison, speak about addiction, speak about life, and just the things that go with that, and whether it's the ups and downs, the trials, the tribulations, and just getting yourself caught up sometimes. And if you do get caught up in things like that, how you can get away from it. So if you could hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that bell notification button so you get all my videos, lives, whatever it is that I'm doing. If you could share with somebody on social media, help spread the message, help spread the word, that'd be amazing. And you already know about the PayPal option. Throw, what up, my brother? You already know, bro. I love you too, Mike. I didn't watch like a ton of Kevin Samuels, no, but I know who he is, What's up, Mitch? Sections, weather is great, right? You know what I mean? Thanks, brother. I'm trying. Stay healthy, you know what I mean? Out here working every day. It's busy life. Busy life. And, clearly as seen with Kevin Samuels, that can come back. I catch up with you, You never know when it's coming. Just jump out and surprise you one day, and that's life, That's a reality that we're all going to have to deal with one day. So, yeah, I just had my birthday, a few days ago. I turned 40. 40. Like, I remember thinking 17, 18, 19, 20, how far 40 seemed. Now you're there. So that was my last few days. Thanks, Mitch, man. I appreciate that. Can you still get a job with a youth charge asking for a friend? Yes, you can still get a job with any charge. It just certain jobs you're probably not going to be able to get you're not going to be able to, right? If it's a bondable position, I'm not sure if your young offender record will show up. Probably not if you were applying for a job. So I would think that you'd probably be all right. Maybe if you're like at a bank or something, I don't know. You know what I mean there, Throw? Who would have thought, brother? 40. Anything government you can. Exactly. Paul Harris, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Got 2 weeks to go, 6 years joint recommendation. Haven't been there since 2012. I wonder how much the pen has changed. Honestly, brother, I'm sure the pen has changed a lot, especially with COVID and everything. I'm sure it's going to be like remarkably different. You just stand on your 10 toes, brother. You'll be all right. Steve, what's up, my brother? How are you? Exceptions. Your mom's birthday is May 1st. Well, shout out to the May 1st birthdays. Go Leafs go, my brother. Go Leafs go. Looking good up to this point. They just got to continue to keep the pace. It's the pace. If they can keep that pace up, they can beat anybody. So if you're in the building, 19 of you, 5 likes, go up, hit that like button. It's not hard. Helps the channel a lot. Thank you very much. I'm a Pens fan, but you want to see the Leafs win low key, of course, because they just haven't. And this is definitely like the best team they've had in my lifetime. The problem is they're in such a crazy division that it almost doesn't even matter. It's almost like kind of a coin toss. Hopefully Raptors was a sad story. Yeah, but Raptors was not really, because if you look preseason with the Raptors, they were expected to win 35 games. So they're ahead of schedule, you know? Joe Grizzly, what's up? And Jays too, right? It's been a long time since we've had the across the board, the team's good. Hugh G, happy belated and thanks for taking the time to answer our question. That's no problem, my brother. Crosby has had his cups. Matthew needs one. Let's see if he can pull it off. Yeah. But remember, a guy like Ovi, how long it took him to win his first cup. It's a process, you know. You gotta be able to build the team around the right supporting pieces. It's a difficult thing to do. So hopefully it does happen. But for me, I want to see progress every year. That's what I want to see. You know, the team is inexperienced, and that's a fact. But they're super talented. This is by far the best version of this team. Their D's good, which is like a first for a Leafs team in how long? For me, Mitch, it's not about choking. It's about how you lose. You know, if you go through a 7-game hard-fought series where it's right down to the last moment, then I am not going to hate on that. But if you, like I said, have a 3-1 lead and blow it, then hey. T-Dot, thank you very much, man. KR10. I appreciate that compliment, and thank you very much. Lloyd Daly, thank you, Matt. Your videos have really scared me straight and made me want to stay away from going to jail. Yeah, and it's not even that jail's always scary. It's just a waste of time, and it's scary to watch your life pass by you. You know what I mean? If they're Washington, Florida is a team to watch. Yeah. Yeah. I think any team in the East is really good, pretty much. I don't know about the skin mags, brother. I'd take some anyways just to find out. Jill, it doesn't just sound like a waste of time. It is a waste of time. You know, at the end of the day, every single day that you're in there is one day that you can't accomplish something for yourself and you're being held back. And everybody who's in your age group or your friend group, they're all moving on. They're all progressing in their life. So when you come out, you're stunted, you're behind. And this motivates you to try to get money faster, right? Which will make you do more dumb shit. You know what I mean? It's a crazy cycle. It's a crazy cycle. T-Dot, you already know. Let's just hope that the good things happen. When I was hooked on Oxy and I finally got clean, I felt like that also. Life passed me by. It was very emotional. Yeah, because literally you open your eyes one day and you're 40, you know? And thankfully I opened my eyes long before I was 40, but I still sit here today and think to myself, man, like I've done fairly well for myself considering the history I've had. So if I had just focused my energy to something positive when I was younger, man, who knows? Sky's the limit, right? And it's still sky's the limit, but you know what I mean. Gordon, thank you. Yeah, 12-year crack habit. Damn. You know, I had a 10-year heroin habit and I had a 20-year poly addiction habit. And I was always kind of like a poly addict. AJ Planet 416, what's poppin', man? I think we're very lucky to get out alive. It seems rare. Exactly. If you can literally go through a lot of those things, right? A lot of those experiences that we very easily could have died along the way. And you think like, man, to even be where you are today, I'm blessed. That's like me, though, Steve. Just a beer and a puff. Nothing else. And, you know, maybe that doesn't work for anybody. Maybe some people, they can't have that beer or they can't have that puff because it works like a gateway for them specifically. But I think what you need to do is just learn what's best for you, learn what puts you in the best circumstances for your own recovery, and really personalize and individualize the path you're going to take. You can't look at somebody else's path of success and think that if you just photocopy that onto your life, it's going to work. You have to tailor made it to what works for you. And for me, I figured out that harm reduction is the best for me. you know I'm somebody that long time ago should have been passed by. It should have been done for me. So the fact that I'm here now is just amazing. And I think that for some people, maybe that is what you need. Maybe you do need complete abstinence, constant programs and NA and AA, and having a sponsor, somebody who's constantly like overlooking your day to days and things like that. And some people don't need that and find that invasive and kind of overwhelming and kind of pushes them in the other direction. So it just depends on you and what's best for you. Happy Mother's Day to any of the mothers. You already know. Happy Mother's Day to any of the mothers out there. Uh, it could be a super crazy job, and it's not always rewarded the way that it should be. So happy Mother's Day to anybody who watches my channel who's a mother. Happy Mother's Day to any mothers. Enjoy your time with your mom. There will come a time like me where I regret I don't see my mom enough. You already know, brother. T-Dot. Youth in pain go to foster homes and end up in TIAC. It's almost impossible to fix that. They need parents to love them. That's crime prevention, for sure. And there's definitely societal things that need to change as well in order, or if you plan on making any dent in prison reform. The reality is, like, it starts in the home and it moves through society. And as you get older, you kind of focus more into the streets. If those role models aren't there, you need to get it at that point, right? You need to nip it then. Roller skating saved my life. Facts. Nice. Helping others is a real prize after all of that history. Having compassion for others, I think, is very self-healing. And I agree. I definitely feel like a lot of the time people fail to see that the addicts or the people that are doing crime to support an addiction or whatever, they don't feel good about the things that they have to do. They just have to overlook that to survive. And I think that a lot of the time people fail to realize that there's a lot of pain and shame that goes along with being an addict when you're hustling or breaking the law to support your addiction. Do guys practice semen retention locked up? I would hope so. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. My first one without you. R.I.P. R.I.P. to your mom, man. My therapist said pretty much every addict is trying to soothe past trauma in some way. Yeah, I think if you look at the addiction population, the addict population, or the prison population, and you're going to have the most traumatized group of society. I think at some point, everybody has experienced trauma. Or why would you put yourself through that, right? Like, why would you choose? I think addiction is one of those things that a lot of time we fail to see the negative. When you're in recovery or you're going through rehab or whatever, it's very easy to look at all the positives that happen when you're in the pits of addiction, but nobody ever looks at the negatives that go along with it and how much it just sucks to be an addict in active use. It sucks waking up every day worried about being sick, chasing money. It sucks where your mind all day is just focused to chasing drugs and you can't focus or prioritize anything else in your life. It's crazy. It's a very traumatic path to live in your life. Honestly, I don't still get intense cravings to use. Nope. Not at all. I was actually in a situation recently where I was face to face with some drugs, and I didn't feel uncomfortable at all. You know, I definitely took myself out of the situation right away, but I felt confident in my ability to not be tempted by it. You change your life around. Life is too short. Crime is an illusion and ends badly. Most guys in open are from drug lifestyle, one way or another. You know what I mean? Like, it never ends properly. Find me a gangster or a hustler that's rich and older than like 50 who's not locked up or dead or on the run. Drug addicts in prison. Yeah. There was always addicts when I was in prison. I'm a recovering addict and ex-con from Drumheller, Penn. The police woke me up and changed my life, became a Christian. And that's great for you, Kyle McKenzie. Shout out to you, man. Self-reflection promotes change for the better, 100%. If you can't see your own flaws and your own weaknesses and the things that tempt you and put you at risk, then you have no chance. You definitely have to be honest with yourself, and you have to tell yourself the truth about who you are. Like, when you're an addict, you are an addict, and that's never going to change. It doesn't matter if it's 5 years, if it's 10 years, if it's 15 years. No matter how confident you are in your recovery, if you get stupid and start putting yourself in high-risk situations, you will fail. And that is just how it is. Funny thing, I know a few who are living real well. I don't know what that... We have recalibrated the meanings we associated to doing drugs, not doing drugs. Now we assign the negative consequences to doing them and all the positive things from being clean now. Yay. And I think, sorry, this is a little different, but I think one huge problem with when it comes to recovery is that people automatically use a slip or I wouldn't say a relapse, a slip as a reason to relapse. You know, they catastrophize it so much. And I think if people were able to just wake up the next day and say, you know what, I fucked up, I'm going to keep it moving, and I'm going to act as if that day didn't happen and not put so much damn focus on it. One of the things that I don't love about NA or AA is the chips, you know. I know it promotes something to like strive for. But at the same time, I feel like it puts so much pressure on people to get those chips. And if they fail, then they don't want to go there. They don't want to face these people anymore. And I feel like it can be so bad. Kyle, please the Lord, brother. Me too. I was baptized in prison too. I don't go to church. Many of us had breakdowns, literally broke down inside. It was a moment of clarity when I snapped and broke. Yeah. I turned my addiction from pills into studying research my job. I'm still damaged to an extent, but much more socially acceptable. Me too. Very much more than awakening. It's a total breakdown for some. Yeah. You know, for the longest time, I struggled with taking criticism, and I was not able to learn about myself or allow anybody to tell me anything about myself that I feel like I didn't know. I knew everything, and I had the answers because I could see all my own problems. So even though I was honest with myself for the most part, I never let others be honest with me. So for a long time, there was a part of my recovery or my rehabilitation that I couldn't get to. An understanding of things that I couldn't get to because I wasn't prepared to let others share their experience with me or criticize my behaviors. And that was huge when I finally opened that door and allowed people to do that without snapping or wanting to fight somebody for telling me something about myself I didn't want to hear, you know? Jeremy Smith, hope all is well, Matt. Feel like I haven't seen much from you lately. Yeah, I still do a video every week, and I do a lot. I'm just super busy. I would love to do more. I really would, and we'll see. I'm gonna start. I would like to start doing at least a couple of videos every week. Uh, you know, I need to uh, allow myself to do that because it's good. It's good for me, and I really enjoy doing it. It's just a lot of the time I just really don't have the time. You don't have more than one rock bottom, and that is a fact. I know you can't say much, Matt, but in reality, addiction is a moneymaker for many, especially government and big pharma. Oh, I know. That's a fact. Yes, it's a beautiful thing, really. Some people never reach the bottom of themselves. They adapt and function all their life. As a phone, being woke is blessing, really. Yeah, But I don't think a lot of people really understand what being woke means. What do I think about Cam H? I don't know. I've been there. I never stayed overnight, but I've had a couple of assessments there for pre-sentence reports when I was a young offender. I was a bad kid, As I got older, I started developing empathy for other people. When I was like 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, I didn't have that empathy, I didn't feel bad for people. It didn't bother me to see people get hurt. It didn't bother me to, put fear in somebody or rob or take somebody's life savings or whatever. It didn't bother me. I didn't have that empathy. And as I got older, I started realizing how crazy some of the things I was doing were, even though to me they seemed like simple, not that bad things that weren't going to affect people that much, Carl, Wagwan. But Cam H, man, I think that at the end of the day, they do the best that they can. Toronto's a big city with a lot of mental health issues in it. So how good of a job can you do? It depends on how much budgeting is going out. I just don't really know that much about it. I never got caught when I was a kid for some reason. Never been to juvie. Yeah, I did a ton of juvie, and I was a dumb criminal. Let's be honest. I was just greedy. I didn't care. I did a lot of dumb, stupid, spur of the moment things that would leave evidence because I didn't care. As I got older, I got a little smarter, but when you're greedy, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Eventually you'll get caught. You can't go around doing so many things bad and them not focus on you. They're gonna find you. Worst prison meals. I should do an updated one. Hold on, Steve. You don't want to be more than one rock bottom watching other people do it. I mean, I don't get it. Happy B-Day, man. Even though we don't really be reminded at this point, we are free now, and hopefully we got some wisdom by now. That's a fact. If you're in that building and you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. If you're just new here, you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do that. I'd appreciate it. I got some moon rocks I'm going to smoke after. You know what I'm saying? Cops act so aggressive arresting youth, it can fuel payback inside the youth head. That's a fact. I saw a CO or a court officer, and a lot of those court officers, their end goal is to become a cop, kick a 16-year-old in the face because he was trying to pick up cigarettes. Crazy shit, man. Constantly hear people can starve in jail or prison. Do they give everyone, big or small, the same number of calories? Yes. That's why you get a lot of people getting bullied for food. Do you got to join a group when you go older, or can you just do your own time? You can do your own time. You find more old guys do their own time than young guys. Canadian Fishing Adventures. Were you in Joyceville for the 2011 riot? No, I was not. I was there. I did get there in 2012. I think it was like January. I got there. But I know about the riot. I was in a different riot there in 2012. Was it? Yeah, 2012 on 4C. But it wasn't people getting stabbed. We were just smashing stuff up. I know what riot you're talking about. Juvie was a rough place in William. Big pumped up kids. We had to fight out literally smackdown. Yeah, see, when you're 17 and 18 or 16, phase 2 young offender, even phase 1, which is 14, 15, right? You really don't have any kind of empathy for anybody. You just don't. And you're forced into a situation of dog eat dog. And it just becomes savage. Hey, I was on the needles. And I'm not now. Krugmeister, I'm a weird guy and I don't like people, especially prison types. Will I survive in prison? I think that there's a lot of people that don't like prison types because there's not one type of prison type. You know, you go to prison, you'll see guys in the yard playing Dungeons and Dragons. There'll be guys that never leave their cell. They just like read or whatever. There'll be guys that are constantly in the library. There'll be guys that are constantly out in the native grounds. It just depends. There's many, many, many different kinds of people in prison. You would be surprised. Not everybody's like some hardcore convict running around with tattoos on his face or like he's got something to prove, you know? Do people cook burritos or anything like that in their cells in Canada? Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Guys will cook. They'll use like pepperoni sticks and stuff. Guys will cook. But you got to realize in Canada, you get a lot better stuff than you do in the States. Like a lot of the food here is a lot better, you know? And a lot of the canteen options are a lot better. And but yeah, guys definitely do make candles and cook for sure. Guys make the same. What are they like? Loaves, like a spread, or guys will make like burritos and different things in chip bags. Now, if you're in federal, it's much different because there's so many options. I watched your top 5 contraband videos recently, and you were saying a cell phone is number 1. But how do they charge them? I'm wondering about that. Obviously, a CO brings them in. In most jails, there's plugs, man. So if a phone comes in, there's going to be a charger with it. You'd be surprised, man. When I was in Joyceville, I saw PlayStation 2s. I saw GameCubes. I saw things that you wouldn't believe were in there. The noodle with Dorito burrito. Yeah, it is good. If they invested in giving prisoners way better food quantity and quality, wouldn't it potentially calm things down? Yeah, but one of the things they don't want is a bunch of jacked up cons. That's one of the reasons why they take out the weights, right? I know that there's violent episodes, but really they just use those as a reason to take them out. They don't want a bunch of jacked up convicts ready to fight everybody who comes around the corner because their testosterone is pumping. That's why they burst your water bags. That's why they care about those little things. I made the noodle Cheeto dice pickle at home here. Crazy good. Yeah. there's a lot of things that guys will eat when you're hungry, So it just is what it is. And honestly, I've had some meals made for me in prison that are better or as good as meals out here in Canada. I know they don't have the same opportunities. Like when I was in Joyceville, there was a hot plate on each range, 2 burners, right? So you could actually like cook. What do you think needs to change the most in regards to prison reform in Canada? I think what needs to change the most is giving a shit. That's what I think. I think individualized rehabilitation. I think opening rehab centers like a Stonehenge, but more of them, so there's more opportunities for guys to get to those places. I was never able to change my life till I got in-house serious treatment. So I think they need to offer more of that. I think they need to bring back trades so people can learn skills so when they get out, they can have a job instead of just being warehouse and not learning anything. Providing schooling, not just bursaries for random courses, schooling, period. And I think, honestly, like just giving people the opportunity to freedom. Not constantly trying to meet quotas and arresting people just for the sake of arresting people or suspicion of being suspicious or deteriorating attitude. Who cares? If they're not breaking the law, don't send them to jail. Period. Trades. Guys used to earn a master's degree. Why not? Educate convicts is good. Exactly. Jace Taylor, what's up, my brother? Hey, yeah, brother. I just turned 40, my friend. I'm all wise now. I'm on here for like 2 or 3 more minutes, guys. On the 5th. Happy birthday. Congrats. 40 was an age that I honestly never thought I would see, man. Sounds crazy, but try, my brother. Jail preserves you. You don't have the stresses of everyday life, If you're not arrested, and you don't own a house or have a business or something that's going to be destroyed. Like, keep in mind, when I got arrested, I was a bum. I'd never had anything in my life. I steal money, I spend it. Steal money, I spend it. Live off other people. So when I went to prison, I didn't lose anything. Right? I might lose the clothes I had, which I had bought from stealing. I might lose some stolen stuff, whatever. But when I got out, I didn't have that issue. So when you're locked up like that, you really don't stress a lot because you don't have to worry about those things and the bills and all that stuff. It's all supplied for you. And that's why this life can become such a hamster wheel, Sentenced to 2 years of college, way cheaper. Exactly. If you're in the building, you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. We speak on prison, addiction, life, whatever it is you want to speak on for the most part. So are the richest guys in the pen the biggest bosses? I wouldn't say they're necessarily the biggest bosses, but they'll definitely be treated with respect if they're throwing money around. But you could also be extorted if you're throwing money around. So it depends on who it is that's throwing money around. You know what I mean? Fishing up a storm. How's fishing in your area? I don't know. I'm sure it's okay. I know there's walleye and trout fishing around here. Bass and pike fishing around here. Lots of largemouth, smallmouth, walleye, perch. Sometimes you make it sound like the prisoners make the rules. So the prisoners don't actually make the rules, but they make the internal rules. You It's funny how convicts are supposed to be like anarchists, like fuck the law, fuck the rules. And then as soon as you walk into prison, there's range rules. It's actually kind of funny. Newborn assassin, man. I'm just about to leave this live, my brother. I got a birthday dinner I got to go to tonight. The ones that count. You already know. I checked with the $30. 5 days later, picking up a long notice, hole in the bag, money missing. What do you do? I don't know. At this point in my life, nothing. I keep it moving. But I don't really get it. I wish I could make it up. They wouldn't let me in the country. Do you know much about getting paroled to another province? Yeah, it's not impossible, but there's a process you have to go through. Have a good day, my brother Steve. Be good, bro. 30 to new 20, 40 to new 30, and definitely can easily pass for 30. Thank you. Appreciate that. No, Joyceville is not a max. The new max is Collins Bay Max. Joyceville now is reception. Exactly. Walk on, right? Anyways, guys, I love you. You know, I appreciate you guys coming to the live. And I definitely agree Maplehurst is one of the worst. They'll lock down if they smell anything in that place. Love each and every one of you at the new Matt Clark. Each and one of you guys have a good day, Mike. I'll be up again soon. You already know, player.